Okay, so welcome guys, 75 minutes focusing on the feet. So you will need a couple of blocks, bricks, whatever. If you've got a half brick, so we can put it underneath our heels in down dog, that would be amazing. And again, whatever serves as bricks as well, so it might be books with something over the top and it might be some kind of sturdy sofa cushions. Optional, your favourite kind of moisturiser, maybe. So have it to hand so that it's there, but you don't have to. As I mentioned in the video before, yes, I am wearing a tiara, does make me feel incredible, not taking off. So with that in mind, nestle down into the ground, so just as your feet have been nestling into the earth a little bit more recently. So maybe for some of us we've been at home more, so our feet have got the chance to explore the environment a little bit more than they normally would. So start laying down. And bring your awareness, drop it all the way down into your feet. And see if you can find different sensations around the feet. So in between the toes might feel different to the heels. And as you explore through the feet, your feet might give you different feedback. For instance, you might get loads of feedback from your big toe, know where the big toe is, but when you ask your third or your fourth toe where it is, it might just give you a little bit of a blank. And keep focusing, keep going with the awareness through the feet. And imagine travelling deep inside of the feet, through the padding, all of those tiny bones, the wrapping of the ligaments. And then briefly pause. Bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. And as you meet the feet, really meet the feet. So just for a few moments, we're going to really press into the feet and the heels. And we're trying to find a connection through left and right side of the foot. So each toe finds its match. Each arch finds its other half. And as you soften through the feet, soften through the belly. Soften through the jaw. Spill the shoulders left and right. And then be aware of how you feel right now, right here. And then gently, as if you're closing that really big, heavy, wonderful book, take your hands either side of the outside of your thighs and bring your knees closer together, soles of the feet find the earth. So knees are bent, the feet are flat on the ground, head is back. So we're going to come into Dvipada Pitham 2-foot support. And normally we would have our feet in line with our knees, but for today we're going to pedal our toes. Oh, my crown already. Don't think I can do it. We're going to pedal our, no, it's not going to work. We're going to pedal our toes. So heels are a little bit closer to your butt because we're essentially going to be coming onto our tiptoes. So heels are fairly close to the bum, hands are down by your side, palms up. Try and resist the temptation to push through your hands. Instead, push through the feet and imagine taking the feet away from you. So as you push down, you're also pushing forward with the feet, and that's just going to lift the hips up. When you get there, keep pressing forward with the feet, and then give a little bit of a wiggle to the hips, just make sure they feel okay to stay out for a little bit of time. So again, we're in this shorter stance, and then lift the right heel, pop the right heel down just before it comes to the ground, left heel pops up. Left heel comes down, right heel up. So you're alternating heels, and as you do so, try and keep the movement fluid. Eyes are steady, staring at one place. Hips stay up, try not to let them move too much. Try and keep them steady even as you're lifting and lowering the heels. And now really try and pour some of the weight all the way into the toe, so really trying to lift. Last few breaths. And then both toes lift. Hold here. Hands are heavy. The press is coming through the feet, so press the balls of the toes into the ground. Keep the knees close. Try not to let the knees splay out. Hips stay up. Squeeze a little bit higher. And then exhale, we're going to round through the upper back. So take the upper back down first. Mid-back, sacrum, and then those incredible, incredible heels. Give your toes a little bit of a wriggle. Hug the knees close in, and you might circle here. Depending on how early in the morning it is, you can bend the knees, take hold of the feet, and you might notice little different bumps, different landmarks on the feet as you take a little brief moment in Happy Baby. And then soles of the feet come down to the ground. You're going to turn to your right, rock over to your right, and then push yourself up. So from here, we're going to take a brief moment in reverse tabletop. We'll take some dips, and then we'll take some circles again through the soles of the feet. So from here, up to you. I prefer my hands to be facing, my fingers to be facing my hips. But if it feels nicer for your fingers to be facing the long end of your mat or wherever, go for it. So just before we come up, we want to make sure that as we come up, the heels and the knees are going to be in one straight line. So if we press, just make sure that as the hips come up, that we feel like they're in the right place. And then lower the hips just for a second and circle through the hands. So first time that we've been on the hands. So we're bending the elbows and we're rolling all the way through the fingers, the sides of the palms. And you can lift the wrists up, you can lift the fingers, just really starting to get some nice movement. And then come into stillness. Push the hands down, lift the chest up, heart comes forward. Inhale to look up. Exhale, hips come down. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, drop the hips down. Inhale, reverse tabletop, lift the hips, spread the fingers, find the feet. Exhale, inhale as you lift. Exhale, last one. Come all the way up, hold here, draw the belly down, and then start circling with the feet. So the hands are going to circle with it, but again, we're trying to get as much contact with all areas of the feet as we possibly can. So at some point you might lift through the toes, at some point lift through the sides. So we're just stirring here. Take a little pause as you stir through the opposite way. Come into stillness, lift, squeeze the glutes. And then drop the hips down, round through the back, circle the hands, drop the head. And then when you're ready, we're gonna, up to you. I'm gonna open through the hips. If you don't mind, we're gonna think about trying to get as many of our fingers through our toes as possible. If you do mind, just stay with the circling of the hips, and maybe you just grab hold and give your foot a little bit of a massage. So we come into a kind of a brief cross-legged position, and we interlace the fingers in between the toes. So the key is here to do one at a time and to thread them through. And you might need to kind of wiggle a little bit to get them down. And there's some thicker parts of your fingers and there's some thinner parts. So you really want to be on the thinner parts. When you're there, you can then take hold of that leg, however that leg wants to be held. So you kind of cradle the leg, take it off. And then we're going to circle through the feet. So as you squeeze the foot with the palm of your hand, also rotate through the ankle, and then see what it feels like to squeeze the toes into the hand. And if you're not doing that, you're simply rocking and maybe just massaging the balls of the feet. And then unlace. Whoa. Take that leg down, cross the other one, and then same thing the other side. So I start with kind of my little finger and my little toe, and then thread through there. And then again, we grab hold of that foot however you want. Sometimes it's nice to grab under, sometimes it's nice to grab over, up to you. But either way, the main thing is that we're gently opening through the hips. So you might have a little bit of a rock through the hips, and we're very, very softly opening up through the toes. So again, feel what it feels like to press the heel of the hand into the ball of the foot, and then press the toes into the fingers, and then undo, give it a little bit of a shake, and then make your way to hands and knees, and then to down dog. First down dog of the day. It might feel a little bit easier after all those reverse tabletops. And just briefly notice that down dog is a strong back of the body stretch. And if we try and get the heels to the floor, it's a strong calf stretch. And we're really going to be focusing on releasing through the calf because we're going to use it a mighty lot today. Still in down dog, still taking whatever time you need, having a little bit of a rock. Maybe again thinking about pedaling the feet just as we did in tabletop. As you inhale, look forward in between your hands. And as you exhale, step forward, forward fold. So you're in your forward fold, knees are soft. And in your forward fold, you can be either on the floor with your fingers or on blocks. And then just rock forward and back through the feet. And notice the change of muscle, that kind of grip as you come forward. And then very briefly just circle through. And again, we might be opening up through the edges of the feet as we circle. And then find stillness. Pull the weight forward. So even though the heels stay grounded, we pull the weight through a little bit of the front of the foot. We can feel the stretch through the back of the body. And then take the weight a little bit back. Press the heels away. Inhale, lift all the way up. Look up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands into Namaste. Take a few little figures of 8 with the hips, and again, feel those figures of 8 ripple through to your feet. And if figures of 8 aren't happening, who cares? Just move. So softening through, thinking about coming into fairly big hip openers later. Inhale, let's find our rhythm. Look up. Exhale, arms come wide, forward fold. Inhale, hands into prayer. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, from the heels, look up. Exhale, arms come wide, all the way down, head soft. Inhale, flat high back, hands into prayer. Exhale, drop the knees, sit low. Inhale, look up, plenty of time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands into prayer. Exhale, bend the knees. Push from the heels. Push the heels into the ground. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, come all the way down, forward fold. Steady the feet, hands onto the ground, knees bent as much as you need. Right foot steps back. Right knee into the ground. From here, we're going to tuck the back toes and press them away. Keep the right hand down and lift the left as you take some circles through the shoulders. So extending through the hands. Last one here. And then we're going to reverse the circles, but also see what it feels like to take the hand a little bit behind us and circle. So we're almost circling a little bit more in 4D as opposed to one plane. Last circle. And then hands drop down, untuck the toes. So from the top of the feet this time, press the top of the foot down and then rise from pressing the top of the foot down as opposed to pushing the ball of the foot. From here, push the top of the foot down and reach through the back, front of the thigh. As we inhale, we slide the arms up and we push through that top of the foot, toenails pressing down. Exhale, hands come down. Lift the foot off of the ground, tuck the toes underneath you. From here, we're going to, this time different, we're going to push through the soles of the feet, lift the heel, and inhale all the way up, crescent lunge. We're going to exhale, ball the fingers, drop the back knee just briefly. Inhale to come back up, just one. Exhale all the way down. Hover here, back knees bent, torso straight down. Take the arms forward, lift the back knee high, and exhale, down dog. From here we're going to find a little bit of a different down dog. So our main thing is we want the heels to find the earth. So it might be that in our normal down dog our heels come to find the earth. Brilliant. If that's not the case, that's fine. We take a few steps in. If the heels still aren't coming to the ground, we take a few steps out. So we've got a wider down dog. If we're still not at the ground, we pop something underneath the feet. So So it might be a block, it might be a wedge, but just something so the heels are on the ground or they're on something. As your heels are on the ground, push the heels down, really feel the stretch through the calf. As you're pressing through the calves, pressing through the heels, lift through the core, hollow the belly. And then gently remove whatever you put under yourself. Take the hands forward. And then inhale, slide the weight forward to plank. Again, feel the tops of your toes. So you're only on the tops of your toes and your fingers, and yet you're all the way up into plank. Send the heels away, see how that feels. And then drop the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Forearms come to the earth. Chest is up. Press through the earth with the forearms as you come into Sphinx. Elbows and shoulders one straight line. Press into the tops of the toes. Feel the knees lift off of the ground as you press the tops of the toes into the earth. And then exhale, head comes down, hands come underneath you. Exhale all the way back, down dog. This time, rise up through your down dog. Push, push, push all the way up to your fingertips. Not fingertips, push all the way up to your toe tips. So as high as you can go on your toes without snapping them and without causing cramp. So just really lift, extend through the heels. And again, switch the belly on, hollow through the belly, head is relaxed. And then gently the balls of the feet come a little bit lower. Inhale, right leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Exhale, it comes underneath, step it through. From here, our favourite, we haven't changed. I don't know when it's going to have to happen without galloping horse, I just don't know. We take the belly off of the front foot and we inhale back up to crescent lunge. We open the arms wide, super ready for galloping horse. We love it. Maybe we take a little bit of a wider, longer step. Everything's facing forward. We check on the back toes, press them down and lift them up. And then that lift comes all the way up through the fingers. As we exhale, we tilt the torso forward. Head is coming over the front foot and we're in galloping horse with the hands forward. We squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Squeeze the outer thighs together so they're still in line. Hands stay in line and above the ears. Exhale, drop the hands. Take the back foot a little bit of a step in. So we've got that shorter stance. And then draw the hands either onto blocks either side of you or maybe onto your shin. It can even rest on the knee, we're not pressing it back. And then from here we're in pyramid. So try and keep the back long. And then notice what happens if we lift those incredible back toes up. So we've lifted all 5 toes and spread them. And then just feel the little bit of connection through the outside heel. So press the outside heel down and then lean forward. So back heels are up, you're in pyramid, but you're leaning forward. And then inhale to rise, hands come up. They meet above your head. We're going to come all the way into balancing tree, we've got it. Reach through the tips of the fingers as you come onto the back tiptoes. Reach everything up, fingers come up, lift the back leg, slide it into tree. Squeeze the glutes. And feel the foot on the inside of that leg. Feel all of the curves. Still in Strasana. drop the hands down, knee comes back, foot releases, give it a little bit of a shake. Taking our time, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat high back, hands into prayer. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, from the heels, slide up. Exhale, open up, forward fold. Inhale, hands in prayer. Exhale, knees bend. Go lower. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, last one. Inhale, flat high back, hands into prayer. Exhale, drop lower, send the knees. Inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, drop down. Left foot steps back, long way back. Drop the back knee. Toes tucked. Left arm stays down, left hand stays down. Right arm takes those swings. And for a minute we stay in the same plane. So we reach the arm ahead and then behind. Last one. We're pushing into the toes, feeling stable. And then we take the arm behind us. So we're trying to get that 4D. Last one here. And then hands come down. Lift the back foot off of the ground. And then pop it back down, toenails on the ground. From here, push the toenails down as you lift up. Make sure back heel, back knee are in line. And inhale to come up. Press through the floor. Feel that press of the back foot, back top of the foot, ripple through the front of your back leg. And reach the arms, tips of the fingers. Press through back toes. And then exhale, hands come down. Lift the back foot, tuck the back toes. You might need to wriggle so they feel really strong. And then from here we're going to imagine taking the toes and pressing them away to the back of the mat. So really try and get some traction. It's going to almost feel like the knee's going to want to lift, which is great. Because from here we're going to inhale, come all the way up to crescent lunge. Make little fists as we exhale, straight down, back knee bends. Inhale as we lift, just one more. Exhale, drop straight down, back knee bends. From here we come forward, hands come down. And we exhale into down dog. And again, we find the down dog where we get as much calf stretch as possible. So the heels are somewhere on the ground, on blocks. That might mean you have a shorter down dog. That might mean you have a wider down dog. Either way, heels are reaching to the ground and tips of the toes are lifting up. So you take the toes off of the ground, the toes are floating off of the ground, the heels are solid, core is hollow. From here, walk the hands back out into your normal length plank. And then take your time. Exhale, drop onto your knees, roll onto your belly. Forearms to the ground, elbows underneath shoulders, Sphinx. So from here, notice the knees on the ground, tops of the toes on the ground. Press the tops of the feet into the earth, feel the knees lift off, and then press the forearms into the ground, lift the head. Exhale, soften through the chest. Hands come underneath as you inhale. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg through. Exhale, left leg comes underneath the body, step it through, take your time. From here, we press through the back foot, Feel that ripple, and we inhale, crescent lunge. We take our time. We lift through the back heel, and we lift through the tips of the fingers. We keep the hips in line. Try not to open the hips. The hips are facing straight forward. Both bones of the hips straight forward. And we tilt through the torso. We still push the back foot away, and we ground down the front foot. Squeeze the sides of the hips in together and come a little bit lower. The belly is not resting on the thigh. Keep it up, but keep it low. We pop the hands down. Gently step the back foot a little bit closer in. And then we either come onto blocks if that feels comfortable, or we rest our hands somewhere that we feel stable. Coming into pyramid. Back heel is down. You've probably gone slightly wider than you would have, so just make sure you feel stable. I like to have my feet facing forward, but if you feel a little bit unbalanced, you can just turn the back heel in, back toes out. Either way. Front knee is a little bit soft, and then we lift the back toes. Back toes come off, there's air underneath the toes. If you can't feel the calf stretch, you might need to go a bit longer. So take that back foot a little bit longer, lift the toes again, and then lean forward. From here we're going to inhale, take the arms all the way up to the sky. Arms come over the top of the head, maybe just the fingertips or the whole palm as the foot of the hand closes in together. From here we press through the back toes and we're on the front of the foot. So we're on the front foot and on the back toes. From here we lift and we land Vrksasana tree. Squeeze the glutes together, sole of the foot. Drop the hand, drop the foot. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time. So round two, a little bit more interesting, a few more things on our tiptoes. Of course, at any point, you can stay off of the tiptoes. So entirely what is making sense with your feet and your body today. As we inhale, we come to that flat high back, but the arms come behind us, palms facing. As we exhale, we dive low, low, lower. As we inhale, we look up, hands come up. We exhale, open up, chest dives forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat high back, arms behind us and high. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, look up, hands up. Exhale, roll all the way down. Inhale, hands behind. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot stays as it is. Right foot makes its way back. We keep the right knee off of the mat. We pop the left hand down, the right hand down. And from here we lift a little bit higher. So take the hips a little bit higher so we've got space. We're going to keep the right hand down and then lift the left. And take those rather gorgeous circles. And then circle in the other direction and circle behind, so you're taking the arm behind. Keep the front knee in line. It's going to want to lift. hands come up to the sky. We're going to just very softly bend the back foot and just make sure that our glute is super switched on. If you've got your balance, take a look at the back toes and make sure they're doing something that looks like they're even. You're not kind of turned them out, you've not dumped loads of weight through a couple of them, but they're sharing the load a little bit. From here we're going to go all the way down into our split squat. We're going to bend the knee and we're going to sink slowly down. So we're going to keep that front knee here, slowly bend the back knee, hands come up. We're going to take 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, we start to lower. Just the back knee moves, we drop straight down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, take a pause, squeeze everything together, drop the hands down, down dog. Drop onto the knees and then circle through your tabletop. We're going to untuck the toes, so we once again come onto the tops of the feet. So we're going to take this slow, walk the hands a little bit outside, a little bit further forward of the mat. We're going to press into the toes, and then from here we're gently going to lift the knees off and then back to the ground. So that's going to feel weirder than it actually is, if that makes sense. So take your time, press the toes in, lift the knees. Take another one. Exhale as you press. And then drop down. If that all feels alright and the ankles are feeling alright, they feel like there's got space, the toes feel strong, then maybe we're going to come all the way up to down dog. Otherwise, stay with what we've just been doing, just get used to it. So we walk the hands a little bit further forward still. We feel connected with the top of the feet. We lift the knees off. And we come into down dog. And from down dog, if this is feeling alright, and you'll know if it doesn't. If it feels alright, and you're looking at your feet, and you're seeing where you're popping the weight, and seeing if you can get a little bit more even with it. So front of the ankles stretching, and then everyone's knees drops back down wherever we are. We lift the toes off of the ground and gently circle the ankles and squeeze and release through the feet. Tuck the toes. Normal down dog, lovely. Inhale, slide the weight forward, high plank. Lift through the core, squeeze the hands. Just in your plank, just slide the feet. So you're on the tips of your toes, you're just sliding from left and right. So the hips are moving, it's like a little twist. And then feet come down, knees come down, roll onto your belly. This time hands come underneath our shoulders, maybe a little bit in front, so it's a little bit softer. We hug the elbows in. And we inhale, push the earth away, cobra. We slide the shoulders down and together. Exhale, elbows come wide. Inhale, tuck the toes, hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale. Oh God. Down dog. Almost face planted. Inhale, right leg sweeps all the way up. Exhale, right leg comes through. So from here we're going to come into our galloping horse. We inhale to come up, and we're going to take the arms and the hands in prayer, because we might take a variation of galloping horse. So front knee is bent, we check in to see what's happening, hips are level. From here we press into the tips of the front foot and we see if that heel wouldn't mind coming off of the floor. So we're on tips of both toes. We lift up a little bit and away, and then hands come into prayer, and then we tip forward into galloping horse. At any point we can lower that heel. Same things apply, we're still squeezing the hips in together, still switching them on. And then drop the hands, land the back, the front heel, take the hands inside of that front foot, drop onto the back knee. We're going to open up that front foot and come into lizard. So back knee is bent, we've rolled onto the little toe side of that front foot if that's feeling alright. And we just take the hips forward a little bit. And we've been moving quite a lot, so it might be you want to stay still, or it might be you want to take a few little rocks. If you're in lizard and you notice that the back is doing this, not the end of the world, but it might be a great idea to grab some blocks underneath your hands. Replace the sole of the foot down, move the hand either side of it, tuck the back toes. From here, take that little step forward, and inhale, take the arms up. Now it might be just the fingertips want to come together, it might be the whole palm, but either way the arms are in front and above you. We come onto the tiptoes of the back foot, which is just going to press us forward, and then we lift the back foot off of the ground and slide it into a lovely version of tree. From here, as we get our balance, we bring the hands down, we take the arms out of it just for a minute. Hands come down either in prayer or by your side. We firm up through the glutes. In a minute I'm going to be quiet so you can really focus on the balance. And we feel the foot pressing into the inside of the leg. We start to tip the weight a little bit forward. And we feel the heel become a little bit light. We press through the toes and we lift the heel up. And then gently lift the hip and the heel down, slide the other foot down, give it a little bit of a shake. And take your time. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Gently stay in your forward fold, but rock the weight a little bit forward, but keep the heels down. Inhale, back is flat, arms behind you. Exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, back flat, arms behind you, arms high, knees bent, sit back. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back is flat, arms are high. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands come down. Back leg steps back. Back knee off of the ground. Front knee bends. Left hand stays down. We take those circles through the right arm. And then we take the arm back. So we circle in the other direction and we focus on taking the arm behind the body and opening up through the chest. Last one. Hands come down by your side. Inhale as you press up, crescent lunge. Maybe we challenge ourselves and go a bit longer. Who knows? Front knee stays bent, back leg a little bit bent. When we bend the back knee, we just check in the toes. So make sure the toes are feeling even. Can you pop a little bit more weight through the little toe side? Bearing in mind, obviously, that's got smaller bones, so you don't want to pop too much. You want to be even. Bend the back leg a little bit, squeeze the back glute. From here, we're going to take the arms up. And then exhale, 3 breaths. We're going to drop straight down, just bending through the back knee. I'm just checking that I'm not coming forward myself. Inhale. Exhale, last breath. Inhale, still gliding down. Drop the knee. Slide the hands forward. Take your time. And then exhale, hands to knees. Give it a little bit of a wriggle. And same again here. So again, we lift and we lower the knees, tops of the feet on the ground. Press the tops of the feet in. If it felt nice to come into down dog, take the arms a little bit in front. And exhale to lift. Now it's up to you how straight the legs are. Maybe you're in down dog, but it feels nicer to keep the knees bent, which is a little bit less asking of the front of the ankles and the tops of the feet, so only you know. Wherever you are, last one. And then slide the knees down. Lift the feet off of the floor. Circle through the ankles. Squeeze the toes in and then spread the toes out. Squeeze the toes in. Spread the toes out. Squeeze. And spread. From here, exhale. Ardha Mukasana, down dog. Take a look at those feet. Gaze at the feet. Inhale, slide forward to plank. And again, we're going to slide onto the outside of our right foot, tilt the hips, and the outside of our left, tilt the hips. So we just rock side to side. Last one. And then drop the knees, come forward into your belly. Hands come underneath and a little bit in front of the shoulders, elbows hugging. Inhale, we find cobra, elbows are hugging in. Shoulders are down, shoulder blades squeezed together. Exhale, soften the heart forward. Inhale, tuck the back toes. Exhale, down dog. I'm going to lose my mat again. Inhale, left leg sweeps up. Exhale, left knee underneath the body, step it through. Again, coming into that incredible galloping horse. We take our time, we inhale, we're in crescent lunge. Nice. So maybe if the first galloping horse went a little bit less than planned, maybe we take it a little bit wider. Either way, hips are facing forward, front knee is over the ankle, and we're really squeezing that back glute. From here, we take the hands wherever you need them. I'm going to have mine in prayer. We pull the weight forward, so start to tip the weight forward onto the tips of the front toes. Lift the heel, and then work the torso towards the front foot. Squeeze the inner hips together. Squeeze this whole cylinder together. Everything on line. Squeeze the toes, press them against the floor. Breath is steady. Still here. And then exhale, hands come down. Heel comes down, back knee drops down. Hands are inside of that front foot. We turn to the little toe side of the foot so we can see the sole of our foot open, and then we circle through here. So again, if your back is a little bit rounded, come up onto blocks, or maybe just on your fingertips if you can't be bothered. Sole comes back down, hand either side, back heel lifts, back knee lifts. Take that little step in, inhale when you're ready. Hands come above the head, weight starts to come forward, you're on your back tiptoes, and then you find your way into tree. You get steady, drop the hands down wherever they're most supportive for you. Your gaze is at one spot. Every time it wanders, take it back to that one spot. I'm going to be quiet in a moment. From here, glutes squeeze together. When we're ready, we think about just tipping the weight forward. Lifting the heel. Last breath, well done. And then dropping the heel, having a little bit of a swing. Well done, incredible, incredible. Just briefly, last thing, last little thing. Really, really brief. Like a little finisher. We're going to bend down. Ooh, hips come down, knees are bent, feet are hip distance, hips are low, core is engaged. We're going to sweep the arms by our side, and then exhale, palms face in, arms behind us. Inhale, palms down, arms by our side. Exhale, arms behind. Inhale, a little bit lower. Exhale. Inhale, palms by our side. Lift through onto the tiptoes. Exhale, heels land, arms behind. Inhale, lift. Keep the butt low. Exhale, lower the heels, arms behind. Last two. Inhale, hips lift. Heels lift, hips low. Exhale, last one. And then slowly, hands come forward, knees drop down, tiny little bit of a wriggle, reset the feet. Oh, amazing. From here, right leg is straight, left knee onto the ground. We're going to kind of take our first side stretch. We're really, really going to make the most of it. Slide the feet, so really kind of stroke the feet until you cross that straight leg over the left. Try not to sink into the left hand side. Try and keep up a little bit. Stay on the tips of your toe as you look towards the straight leg. And we really want to be thinking about opening up through the right side of our ribs. So kind of really press in and away before you're worried about looking at that straight leg. So really feel the sides of the waist opening. So it might take you a bit of time to feel it. You might have to move the weight forward and back, and you might have to push into the ribs to get the stretch. And then inhale, knee comes back, left leg extends, toes on the floor. Keep the toes on the floor as you take the leg to the right. And again, try not to collapse down. Keep the weight a little bit to the left so you can really inhabit the left hand side, and then look to your right. So this part of the chest, this part of the ribs, and the side of the belly switched on. feet slide back, should feel nice. Knees come back. Take the legs in front of you. And then if you wish, grab your socks, grab your little moisturiser, and either where we were to begin with, one leg over the other, and you literally massage those incredibly hard-working feet. And rather than thinking about it as kind of moisturising it, thinking about it as exploring. So imagine you've never seen your foot before. You've never seen it, you've never felt it. And then all of a sudden, out the stumps of your ankles come these feet. So you're literally just exploring all the bumps on the map, all of the little caves, all of the little hidey holes in between the toes. And if you did like the bringing the hands between the toes with moisturiser, it's even nicer. So feel free. Basically, I'm going to give us 90 seconds just to do whatever you want with the foot. When you've done one foot, you can pop that little sock on. Don't forget to do the ankle, and again feel the ankle bones. And as you do it, I like to kind of pull the skin. I know it sounds really weird, but I like to kind of get a little bit of gathering of skin and then pull it away from the layers underneath. Go easy with it because there's lots of beautiful nerve endings which are quite intense. And if you haven't swapped sides, now is about a good time. We're about halfway through. Of course you can carry on with this, of course you can, and then just pause me and come back to it when you need, if this is feeling really lovely. Feet are an incredible, incredible part of the body and a huge component in everything else that we do. If we get the feet right, often we get other things right. We just need to take a little bit of care with them. So you might have already, depending on what the temperature in your room is, you might have already grabbed a jacket or a blanket. And we're going to soften up. So knees are bent. We take the hands and the arms and the belly forward. From here we grab the feet again because we just cannot stop. And then we gently slide one heel at a time forward. And it might be that we want to pop something underneath here, just so we can focus on the feet as opposed to a very strong sensation. So the back is round and the front of the body is connected to the hips, to the thighs. At some point we soften in. And as you soften, it might be a nice thing to take the thumbs to the outside and around the soles of the feet and use the fingers to curl the toes back. So we've done quite a lot of the opposite today. We've done a lot of tiptoeing, which is kind of this. So so it might be nice for you just to curl the feet in as if they're getting ready for bed. As you inhale, you slide the body up and allow the hands to come over the shins, over the knees. They might linger over the knees, maybe giving the kneecaps a little bit of a massage. And then right knee draws in, right foot across. You may stay here, maybe folding the left and coming into that twist. So we have really seriously worked, as usual, the glutes. Just gently chuck the chin in, draw the shoulders down. And then be with the feet, so tune into the sensations of the feet. Slide to the center, lean back, unwind, other side, left knee comes up, left foot across, right knee bends, heel to the hip, other arm gathers, and again if you wish, your entire awareness goes into the feet, the toes, the heel, the soft arches, and it embeds there, hangs out there. Free the legs from the embrace of the legs. And come and lay on your mat. Knees are wide. Legs are wide and out. Arms are by your side. And take some really deep windscreen wipers. And again, we focus on the feet, so start the movement by rolling onto the soles of the feet and then coming onto the outside or the edges of the feet. So feel the feet, especially if you're really used to windscreen wipers, use the feet, press the edges into the ground, roll onto the soles, press the other edges into the ground. 2 or 3 more. And at some point the movement ceases. At some point you find Shavasana. notice that you're totally in this moment, that the body through the feet is entirely landed in this moment. And notice how free the feet feel, how spread, how soft, how connected. And as usual on a Wednesday and a Thursday evening, coming into our present moment, meditation. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel my feet. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel my feet. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel my feet. Your own rhythm, your own speed, your own position of body. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel my feet. the mantra, flitter and fade. But keep the sensation of your feet as you gently move the toes and the ankles, as you gently move onto your right hand side. Totally supported, totally off the earth. Allow the inhales to gather your body up and take you into a strong seated position. The arms glide up and to the sky. As they exhale, they fall back down to the ground, to the earth, to the feet. Inhale, the hands come up. Exhale, back down to the earth, to the feet. Inhale, hands come up. As palms come together, feel the energy through the soles of the feet as well. And then draw it down into the center. Namaste. 3 arms. Inhaling deeply, let's really, really fill. Inhale. Inhale. Well done, guys. Amazing.